Hi, welcome in. So today we're going to be playing the demo of Tavern Talk, which is D&D themed, kind of like coffee talk basically, but we run a tavern. Gentle Troll Entertainment have actually offered us an extended demo of this, so we're going to be playing through that today. Hi Inkeep, how's it going? All nice and dandy? Can't complain, how about you, Fable? All nice and dandy? Yes, all nice and dandy. I had such an exciting day, really exciting. Did you go on an adventure? Even better, I took a walk around the grove, then I replanted a mushroom that had fallen over. Then I patiently waited for it to turn into a mushroom monster or a mushroom mimic. Maybe a gnome. Did it? No. But I got to take another walk around the grove. How was it? Great, I got to see the same stones, the same trees, the same amaranthine hydra guarding the entrance to Avalon, the same moss. Sounds very exciting. Who am I kidding? My life is as exciting as a dried nut. Nuts are healthy, very thrilling in sauces and as a snack. There are various nut types: walnuts, peanuts, pecan nuts. I'm allergic. Oh. No worries, I mean, I never told you. And hey, at least something would happen if I ate a nut, just not something very fun. Allergic shock and that. Does that count as an adventure? No, I think that counts as a mistake. So what you're saying is that you're missing the spice. Oh no, I have a very sensitive stomach. I don't think chilies would help me much. Though I'm very good at growing phoenix chilies. I was talking about the spice in your life. That's what you meant. Well, yes, exactly. That's it. There's no chili flakes, no garlic, no dragons. Just a lot of salt. I'm like a bland soup. So a classic case of boredom. I see. Do you know that feeling when nothing exciting is going on in life? Like, life isn't bad, but also not particularly funny. Have you tried visiting the circus? Have you tried adding some zest to your soup? Drama, buzz, excitement, something fiery. Go to the theatre or a gala, arrive in a hot air balloon. A hot air balloon? Don't they fly up really high? Yeah, I think that's the point. I'm afraid of heights. And of people. And of actors. Very me. But apart from that, I'm trying. I tried singing, but what is singing if not the telling of a tale? How can I sing of things if I never lived through anything? What do you mean? Well, day in, day out, I live the same green soup of routines. Sure, I have my forest and I look after it, but I want to get out there and see something. Like, for example, listen to this song I started writing. I wish to be a hero, slaying mighty drakes. I wish to meet a pretty nymph resting by the lakes. Oh, really? You think so? Well, perhaps it's a nice flow to it. But nothing actually happens in it because all I do is sit around and wish for things to happen. I don't even know what nymphs do. I've never met one. Taxes, maybe? No, I don't think so. I would love to sing about the exciting, magical things I encounter. But to be honest, the most exciting thing in my life is coming to your tavern and discovering new drinks. The usual? Yes, please. What's the usual? That means a swift strike, in case you forgot. Thank you for the reminder, Fable. I've been coming to your tavern for so long and I still don't know anything about how you make your drinks. Could you show me? Yes. Really? Yes. What do I do? Do I need to put on an apron or summon a familiar? How do I summon a familiar? Just follow me. Okay. Welcome to my drink mixing nut. So this is what it looks like back here. Hello, Andu. Careful, I haven't fed him yet. Where do we start? Well, usually I start by figuring out what my patrons want. To make sure I don't forget what they ordered, I take notes in my journal. Let's have a look. If I want to look for specifics, I check my detailed notes. I do keep a log, just in case. When I'm sure I know what was asked of me, I browse my recipes. Can't just freehand something to see what sticks. No, I like to mix and match for more varied result, but the right balance is crucial, so I stick to my recipes. When I have settled on one, I can use the chalk to draw it on the board. What if you pick the wrong one? I can either erase it with the sponge or pick a different recipe. My ingredients are stored in the 5 bottles on the right. There is dexterity, intelligence, defense, strength, and charisma. If I mess up or want to redo my drink for any other reason, I can simply feed the mistakes to Andu. Once I'm done, I press the bell to activate the primordial vortex. Actually, I don't need to bore you with the magic details. Just try making a drink. You've got this. So... this is what we need. Oh! Okay. Is that right? And then... and then there's this one. Is that right? Nice! We did it. Thank you for showing me the ropes. Thank you for your enthusiasm. These adventures you dream of, aren't you scared they'll be the end of you? Maybe, but how would I know if I never try? Do you actually want to try? Well, yes, I want to tell great stories, but never mind. No, do tell. Oh, how can I help you? A drink. For you? Right, what kind? Drinkable. Very specific, thank you. How about a spoken heart? Some charisma can't hurt. You could use some charisma. Sure, whatever. Spoken heart. This one. So this one to the end. And then is that how it should be? I believe it is. And then this one goes just to there, right? And then this goes to here. Order up. This should be digestible, maybe even tasty. Thanks. Almost washes away the memories of the banshee haunt in the lonesome lagoon at night, and her bone-shattering songs of sorrow. Almost. Alright, the brooding type, I see. What are you thinking about, Fable? Just dreams. Yours or someone else's? Mine. Other people seem to have the courage to follow theirs. Why can't I be like that? Isn't that up to you? I wish it was. My brother says my dreams are a fool's errand, that I am running away from where I belong. We are rangers, Fable. We belong to the woods like the stream that patters down the mountain. Or the birds in the trees, we keep the balance. It's what we're meant to do. And is that what you want to do? Yes. No. Not really. I want to experience things outside the safe borders of the forest. I want to live a life so full of adventure, boredom will feel like bliss. I want to be brave and strong. And I want to sing songs about my adventures that make other people yearn for the same freedom. Of course, I could never leave the Ashen Grove behind forever. It's my home. There is nothing wrong with going away from time to time, right? I mean, my brother looks after the Grove, as well as my sisters. I think it'd be fine without me. And you should do what your heart desires. Will it stop aching then? Oh, I think so, yeah. What if it is wrong to leave, though? What if destiny never meant for me to leave? What if it did? That would be a dream come true. Be your own genie, Fable. Your adventure starts with you. Thank you, Innkeeper. You really are the most exciting part of my day. Is that end of day? Oh, hello. Oh, no, I'm not. No. Can we all forget my reaction to this, please? Thank you. Greetings, traveller. How may I help you? You own this establishment, Innkeeper. Last time I checked. With whom do I have the pleasure? The name's Curlin. Curlin? Curlin. One of them. You can call me Care or Lynn. Couldn't care less. Nice to meet you, Care. Lynn, what can I do for you? Perhaps something to drink? You do the thing with the quests, right? So they say. Do you want one? You can have a look at my notice board. No. No quest for me, but I may have one for you or your notice board. Heard of a werewolf making trouble up in Tergaren? Terrorizing farmers, tearing sheep apart, the whole programme. A werewolf? That's news to me. Listen, me too. Didn't see one in almost a decade. And that was far south in Erever. Erever? I'm gonna mispronounce things again, aren't I? It's fine. Been wondering if it's the same one, just moving up. Like a nomad. I thought the werewolf hype died together with that one romance novel. You mean the one with the vampires? Think so. Nah, that's just split society into two camps. Team werewolf or team vampire. I understand that reference. Which one were you, Inkeep? Oh no. Which one was I? I think I was werewolf. I didn't like the glittery vampire thing. Is it the fur or the pecs? The hair, actually. The long hair. Neither. Questionable experiences with the other camp more so. I mean, questionable experiences with the werewolf here. You know, the end. Let's not talk about the last film. I'm itching to ask for details. Don't. How about you? Wouldn't you like to know? Yes, that's why I asked. Keep guessing. Has anyone ever told you you could pass as a werewolf? Yes, all the time. At least twice a day. The only downside of looking like a wolf is getting mistaken for one. I see. Is that the reason why you don't want to take care of the werewolf yourself? Yes. No. I'm just too afraid he might look a little too familiar to my uncle Dragon. Would feel bad slaying that fella. You know, hunchback, hairy, crooked teeth. Right, anything else that might help others get done with it rather swiftly? Fetch. Pardon? Should they get into a dangerous situation, they'll just have to start playing fetch. That works. On any dog, trust me. Thanks, Care, Lynn. It's not that hard. Either Care, or Lynn. Lynn. Alright, Chief. Oh. Alright, Chief, you got a name, or is it just Inkeep? Ooh, just Inkeep for... Aw, I thought I could pick a name. Playing hard to get assy. Don't flirt with me. Well, Inkeep, then before I venture on, you've got a drink for me? I'll take something powerful. Strength. Which one's strength? This one. This one then. Southern Brawler. This one to the end. This one, I believe, to here, right? Yeah. And also this one a little bit. There we go. I think I definitely like this better than Coffee Talk. I think it's because I've worked as a barista though. And obviously I haven't worked in a tavern. A TGI Fridays. Not a tavern. Not bad. Just what I was craving. Where will you head from here? Perhaps back north, through the Ashen Grove. Got some business to clean up. What kind of business? Personal business. Care to elaborate? Oh. No. I was like, tell me everything. But you won't stop asking until I do, will you? No. My cousin claims her crops are being stolen by undead snails. Obviously, I'm pretty sure she's hallucinating, but I did hear some folks complaining about an undead uptick up north, so might as well humour her and make sure she hasn't turned into an undead snail herself. Something like that. Yeah, if you find any more rumours for me or need aid, don't shy away from coming back. I'm more of a lone wolf, don't do groups, but sure, for more work, I'll be back. Alright then, let's assemble this quest. Okay, so... This one. This. This, right? The initial amount of undead seem to be... Them three are relevant. A reticent Vu Karkin passed by the Wayfarer's Inn, reporting a werewolf making their way up to Tegarin from Erever. I don't know if I'm saying any of that right. They pose a potential threat to helpless sheep and villagers. Apparently werewolves love playing fetch. Are you brave enough to take on this quest to save Tegarin from the werewolf mayhem? I feel like no matter how I say it, I'm going to be worried that I'm saying things wrong. Close down. Cute. Oh, she's gonna do the quest. I found this on your notice board. It says a werewolf is terrorizing Tregarin. Tregarin? How did I say it again? Is that true? It is indeed. Have you sent anyone after it yet? Maybe that hooded guy from yesterday? Not yet. What kind of hero are you, looking for? One who knows their way around difficult terrain, woods even, preferably one who is good with a bow. One that will tell me that they want the quest. Ah, I am good with a bow. Yes, Fable. And I know my way around any woods. I know Fable. And maybe I want that quest? Just maybe? No, not just maybe. Since yesterday, all I've been able to think about is you telling me to follow my heart. And then I step into your tavern and the quest practically jumps out at me and I think, hey, there's a start for an adventure. It's near a forest. You know forest. You live in a forest. And werewolves are basically just normal wolves, but slightly scarier because they're also human. But you've talked to humans before. And you got silver arrows for your birthday last year, and they're just collecting dust in your room. And I thought I could ask you about if anyone had taken it yet. And then, I didn't think that far. I see. Or rather, I did, but then I thought, what if I take the quest? Then I have to go on the quest, and I have to fight the werewolf, or talk to the werewolf, which is worse. Because what if the werewolf doesn't like me? And what if when I try to shoot it with my silver arrow, I miss and shoot a tree instead, and then that tree will be mad at me? It won't really matter because I'll be dead, because of the werewolf. So maybe I should put the quest back, Fibble. Yeah? Do you want me to tell you to take that quest? Maybe. I can't make that decision for you. Neither can I. Whenever I have to make a difficult decision, it's like I freeze in place. And suddenly I am unable to move until somebody makes the decision for me. Relatable. Why are you so anxious, Fable? In general, I think that would take up more time than we have. About taking the quest, it seems to me that you want to take it, but you are trying to talk yourself out of it instead. Oh, well, I do want to go on that quest. Werewolves may not be the best muses, but it would make a good start for a song, right? The prelude of an epic. Fable, the protector of lords, the world, the worms. The worms? They seem like they need protecting. Every time I think about embarking on a quest, and I start to think more deeply about what might happen, all my bones start to shake and I feel dizzy. Bones don't shake, your body does. Is there something making you feel like you might fail? Aside from the bloodthirsty werewolf? We don't know what it's thirsty for. It might prefer orange juice. It might. Well, heroes have a history, right? Great feats they can look back on to define their bravery. Inspirational stories that remind them of the light in the dark. I have the opposite of that. Great mistakes and epic regrets. Yeah. Like the Mary Morgan incident, or my first encounter with the Amaranthine Hydra, or the reason why nobody wants to spend time with me. Oh. So me. Why does no one want to spend time with you? Because I'm unlucky. I'm unlucky, and whenever good things are supposed to happen, I ruin them. No matter how easy they are, nothing seems easy enough for me. Imagine there is one nail sticking out of the whole kingdom, everyone passes it except for me. I'll get caught on it and rip my coat. Did that happen once? Once? I wish it had just been once. It seems that my life only follows the path that is the most embarrassing. The curse of ill luck follows me wherever I go, like an adventuring companion who secretly wants to kill you. No one wants to hang out with someone who naturally attracts bad things. You're too harsh on yourself, Fable. Am I? See, just last week I wanted to gather fresh flowers. The daffodils are blooming and they make for a nice bouquet, you know? Or hair accessories, they always calm my anxiety when I have them around. But me being me, I confused them with their evil twin, the weeping Amaryllis. Now guess what I spent the whole day afterwards doing? Weeping? Like a baby all day long. When I plucked them, they released their spores and I started crying. I suddenly felt all the sadness in the world rush over me. I've never been so heartbroken. I'm sorry, that sounds horrible, Fable. It was. Between the tears and the sobs, I managed to make a tincture made from hogweed. It eased the pain, but the tears wouldn't stop until dawn. I'm so silly sometimes. Just a silly goose. Well, just a day after it arrived to guard the portal, the dream plane Avalon, I wanted to be polite and neighbourly, so I brought it some homemade biscuits. I burned them a little in the oven, but I thought since it has fire breath, it wouldn't mind. So I approached the Amaranthine Hydra, and I have this whole speech prepared about how I'm looking forward to having it around, and how its green scales match my hat, but it was so tall and intimidating I forgot all about what I wanted to say. So I just set down the biscuits and smiled awkwardly. It looked at my biscuits and then at me, and then it said, "By the rivers of the stars stands a man who reads the firmament's pass. Some things are as sturdy as the gilded ice. Some things as changing as Leviathan's sea. All chimeras hate mice, all hydras love tea." I thought to myself, wow, the Amaranthine Hydra has given me a riddle. A quest, maybe this shall be my first adventure. But I couldn't figure out the answer, so I left, and I tried to solve the riddle for 3 days. I was too ashamed to step foot in front of it again, lest it know that I am not worthy of its wisdom. But then I couldn't take it anymore, and I ran back, apologised, and begged it for the answer. Turns out, that's just how it speaks. It wanted tea. Did you get it one? Yes. Then you completed its quest. 3 days later, if it had been an antidote it had needed, it would have died. Woodhouse are as useful as an antidote when you have not been poisoned. I suppose you have a point. And let's do the last one. Yes, the Mary Morgan incident. That was probably the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to me. Do you really have to talk about that? You brought it up. Only if you want to. But just because it's you, I feel special. An adventuring party was on their way, passing through the Ashen Grove. Due to the sylvan spirits, it gets fairly foggy at night, and the fog bears great dangers to anyone who isn't acquainted with the spirits home to it. So they wanted guidance from a local ranger. A merchant up in Tregaron recommended me. I agreed to help, of course, my first adventure, yay. I was so excited, but also very, very nervous, so of course it ought to go wrong. I think it was the nerves. Why were you nervous? New people, seasoned adventurers, one stronger than the other, in shining armour and armed to their teeth. I wanted to leave a good impression, but my bad luck got in the way of that. How did it go wrong? I felt their condescending looks on my back as I walked them through the woods. Of course, I don't know whether they actually looked, but my fear got hold of me and I led them astray. I blacked out, I think. I never got lost in the woods before, but this time I did. I couldn't see well, with the blood rushing in my ears and feeling dizzy. So, for some stupid reason, I led them along a path no one should ever pass. Past the riverbanks of Shivermere, home to the Mary Morgan. You know of the Mary Morgan, yeah? The wrathful spirit that is known to drown men? Oh, dear. Not sure if he really differentiates between genders, though. For some stupid reason, I led them straight into her arms. I got scared and in the end, they had to save me. They fought the creature and we finally found a way out when dawn broke and the fog ebbed away. I couldn't look at them for the rest of the journey and I silently bid my farewells when we reached the other side of the Ashen Grove. I was too embarrassed to speak. I'm sure I'm still their laughingstock at every gathering. How am I ever supposed to step foot in the adventuring world again? To be fair, it could have been worse. I could have led them right into the arms of the Chimera, residing in Quag Mangrove. They say it has a taste for adventurers. But you didn't. But I didn't. You seem to be very insecure. Who says that to someone? You seem to be very insecure. I think that's the biggest problem. But how can I not be when everything I touch falls apart? You know that isn't true. You're right. I'm a great gardener. Everything grows around me, but I seem to get smaller. Except zucchinis. I can't figure out how to grow those. So in a way, I am like a zucchini. I'm insecure because I don't know what I'm capable of. You'll have to find out then. Like, on a quest, for example. Don't you think I'm a little underleveled? Do you think that will change by sitting around? I guess not. Someone has to help these people, right? What if I don't and then no one else comes around? What if I'm the only chance they got? But what if I'm not? What if there is someone better? The best thing you can do is try to help them. So what if another adventurer swings by and they are able to make the situation better? Isn't that a good thing? 4 hands are better than 2. And who knows? You might even end up joining a party. And besides, if it's the perfect hero they want, they'll be waiting forever. I didn't think about it like that. Maybe I should not decide to give up before I even try. After all, I am a very quick runner, so if I screw up, I can just run away real quick. Do you have something that can make me more nimble and quiet, so that the werewolf won't see me come in? Something with a lot of dexterity. If I want to fight it, I'm gonna need that surprise round advantage. Or maybe something that can help me with diplomacy. Perhaps it is just hungry lost lichen, after all it needs is a pep talk and a hug. Maybe we can even be friends. But I would need something with a lot of charisma for that. I will leave the choice up to you. Ooh. Just make sure you don't pick a random recipe, please. Remember, your choice can influence my fate. It could change the entire outcome of this quest. Boosting your charisma. Should we do charisma? We'll do this one. Is it that one? We'll see how this goes. Hopefully she'll do fine. I brought you some phoenix chilies from my garden and they seemed like something you might enjoy. They possess natural magical properties. If you plant them in the right soil, they can grow up to be fire resistant. Ooh. I'll see you post-victory. I hope she'll be okay. Oh, hello, mysterious person. You again. Me again. And who are you? Someone who wants a drink. This guy. So mysterious. Voila. A spoken heart just for you. Maybe it will help you find more words. Good attempt. Perfectly drinkable. Might make me come back for more. Might not. Enjoy. Charming. Ooh. Hello. Careful. You'll step on my cape. Oh, shush. Greeting, travellers. How may I serve you? Not another one of those empty babblers. Oh? I'm all but that sounds weird. Would you prefer a different line? Let's see. Hail and well met, adventurers. Would you like to try me drinks? No, that feels wrong somehow. Could try the one where you just serve drinks quietly. So rude. I'm fresh out of that one, sorry. Thought so. We'll go somewhere else, you know. Don't worry too much about it. He's a tad quirky. That thing on your shoulder, is it quirky too? What thing? Ah, my cape. Your cape? That's not his cape. That green fella on his shoulder is an ooze. Or what's left of it. And the rest of it is on you? Aye, pretty tough to clean off. May I ask how that happened? You just did. Maybe I can offer you two a drink in exchange for the story in your names. Yes, I love stories. I'm Sir Alphonse Louis Frederic Duquet de la Sang. It's long for Kyle. Kyle? Well, Kyle, what kind of drink can I offer you? Blood, or if you're out, I would also settle for something that tastes like blood. Spoken Heart has red. There we go. Why did I say it like a pirate? That's got red in it. How is this for a replacement? A replacement for what? My cape? It's not very cape-shaped. It doesn't taste like a cape either. I shall order a cloak one next time. And who may I offer the second drink? Rhea Frost Grip. Just serve me something strong, something that feels durable, tough, like a mountain of caves of one of those frosted lagoons. Frosted lagoons. Coming right up. I don't think I've made one of them yet. This. There we go. And this. Frosted Lagoon. There we go. Sorry, Kyle. What about that ooze-filled story? Fine. Guess you've earned it. Picture me deep in the mountains of Dolvamer with my trusty axe and a good drink by my side. There I was, minding my own business, digging for the good stuff, you know. Hit a gold vein earlier and deemed myself the luckiest dwarf of all times. Had a real big old pile of gold. Then suddenly this big ooze comes along and slurp, gone it was. This is a very boring story. Perhaps we could go looking for my cape now. It's nearly sunrise. And the sun kills you? Oh, did the ooze also eat the cape? Yes. No. Anyway, I wouldn't call myself the best warrior, but when the ooze slurped my gold, I had to do something. So I took my shovel and dug and hit and dug and hit until there was nothing left anymore of the ooze. Well, almost nothing. So did you dig out your gold? Silly food. She dug out me. And guess what he was clinging on to? The gold? Oh yes. A big gold nugget. Would you allow me to ask a question? What was that deal again? I get you to Baruvia so you can participate in your fancy vampire banquet, and in return I get the gold. But what about my cape? Kyle, maybe we could find someone to retrieve your cape for you. I could put out a quest for you, but for that we need a little more information. First, I need to know where you last saw your cape. I was getting ready to go to the annual vampire banquet hosted by Lord Strut in Baruvia. While getting dressed, I realised I couldn't find my cape. My first thought, of course, I cannot find it. The cape of invisibility is playing tricks on me. It is quite moody sometimes, which is truly unfortunate when you want to wear it for an important event. We all know how important a fancy cape is for displaying your vampire status. Then what was the last vampire event you wore the cape to? My wedding. When I married my sweet Evelyn, I simply had to wear my most treasured cape to show how important she was to me. Evelyn, the vampire Countess Evelyn, residing in Marrow Castle. That would be her. Congratulations, are you still married? Of course not. I hate her, every inch of her body. Oh. Turns out she just wanted... Spit it out, leech. Oh, my cape. My sweet Evelyn stole my cape. That little, mean, vicious, beautiful beast. She, the thief of thieves, robbed me of my most precious possession. Well then, innkeeper. Do you think there is a courageous adventurer out there brave enough to retrieve my precious cape from me? I'm afraid that my sweetest Evelyn will kill me on sight if I ever step foot into her villa again. Yes, I think we can find such an adventurer. That's what we are setting up right now. So, Marrow Castle, where could a brave adventurer find it? Deep past the Abyss of Dread, at the foot of a mountain range that looks like a witch's bosom. Towers the mansion of my dear Evelyn, Queen of Darkness, Temptress of Men. Flamenco champion of 1467. The right hero should be able to outsmart her and escape with their life. But be aware, she bites, and she may be invisible now. Alright, I think I've got everything I need. I will write up a quest for you. I'm sure you'll have your cape back in no time. Innkeeper, do you have a drink to protect me from the sun? Perchance something that also moisturises my delicate skin? I'm afraid not. Oh. That reminds me, my aunt Mathilda used to harness the power of a chimera's saliva for some protection. A chimera? This thing, a beast made out of several animals. Got 3 heads and all, made by the dragons to guard Gaia. Likes to eat people for breakfast. I'm aware. I just didn't know its saliva could be so useful. Actually, I might know where to find one. Really? Will you get it for me then? No. Oh, what? Why are you looking at me like that? Perhaps we can alter our deal. Oh, nay, forget it. I ain't going. With nothing on me but a shovel and ooze? Goop? I'm no match for such a beast. No problem, I can make it another quest for my trusted board. Stay and keep while we're waiting for someone to do his work for him. Do you perhaps have a room or two? Sure thing, I've got a couple of barred up rooms. You can stay up there. Oh. Okay, should we make the cape one? I feel like they need the other one. Is that it? I think that's it, right? Yeah. Deep in the Quag Mangrove resides a wyvern chimera. Its scales and claws are a valuable treasure to any alchemist, its saliva even more so. As it happens, a vampire may be able to use the rare saliva to produce a sunscreen so effective that he could walk in bright daylight. Is there any mouse or adventurer brave enough to confront the beast, the chimera, not the vampire, and bring back a bucket of saliva? Looking for his cape, saw his cape on his wedding day, and this, right? On a mild summer morning, a senile vampire came to look for his cape of invisibility at the Wayfarer's Inn. After steady questioning, the innkeeper uncovered that he lost his cape at his wedding, where his ex-wife, Countess Evelyn, stole it from him. She resides at the foot of the Witch's Wrath Peak. Venture to its peak and dare to retrieve the long-lost cape, but be aware she might be invisible. My infusion shipment finally arrived this morning. I now have access to some fey crystals and frozen pine cones. Together with Fable's Phoenix Chili, I have 3 infusions now. She's back! A drink for me and this lanky fella. It is good to see you too, Lynn. She meant to say please. Welcome back, Fable. You look alive. Thank you, I am. That seems like a given. I'm just happy to see them doing well, and with a friend. They may be very annoying, but they did just help me solve a family feud of 10 years. So I do owe them some of your dishwater at least. Family feud? I wouldn't call it a feud. More of a miscommunication. Does this perchance have something to do with your quest? It does. I stopped her from killing the werewolf. Elaborate, please. I was going to kill the werewolf. They stopped me from killing the werewolf. What's not to get? A lot? I think she's confused because the quest was to save the villagers from the werewolf. And now it sounds like I saved the werewolf from you. Which I did. Kinda. I also remember you saying you did not want the quest, Lim. I didn't. Was there by chance. They were both stealing sheep. Wasn't. Sure was. Adventuring pay ain't what it once was. So you steal other people's sheep? Mind your own business. How does any of this lead to a successful quest? Well, where do I start? How about at the beginning? Right, I was born on a half-crescent dreaming moon of the quest fable. Right. The quest. Travelling there was no trouble. I know enough shortcuts to travel through the Ashen Grove swiftly. I reached the borders of Tregarin right after dawn. The Ashen Grove thins out at that part and you can catch a glimpse of the wide fields, vineyards, and see one farm after the other. An idyllic sight. Well, at least before sunset. Do you have trouble in the dark? Emotionally? Visually? A little. I mean, I reckon I can still see more than a human could, but darkness is darkness and I'm no owl. Thank God. You're already weird enough. Imagine the damage you'd do if you could turn your head all the way around. Who says I can't? Just kidding. Anyway, luckily darkness doesn't affect my hearing. Not the normal kind. What? Nothing. Okay. I heard a creaking fence and footsteps that were failing to keep quiet. Your ears are failing at being small. So I snuck closer and saw a werewolf-esque shape picking up a tiny sheep. I was petting it. Well, I thought she was going to eat it. So I summoned up all my courage and stepped out of the shadows and said, "Good evening, werewolf. Please put down the sheep." I didn't expect her to be in her full senses, of course, but I wanted to be polite. And I thought it might confuse her and maybe that would help calm her down. It did confuse me, alright. Who the heck sees a werewolf and the first thing they do is greet them? Polite person. Or an insane one. It worked, didn't it? Because I ain't no werewolf. He wasn't that different, but I am skipping ahead. To my surprise, instead of a growl, the werewolf, or not werewolf, responded with what? So the confusion plan had worked, but that wasn't really what I expected. So I said again, "Please put down the sheep." And she asked why. And I said, "Well, because it's not very nice stealing sheep." And she asked who I was. No, I asked, "Who are you? A guard?" I was about to introduce myself when we heard this blood-curdling growl. It sounded like someone had ripped a hole into the fabric of reality and pierced it with a horrible yell. Please, it was barely a barb, and it made the blood freeze in my veins. I heard panting and heavy footsteps, and I barely dared to turn around, and when I did, I stared into the twisted face of a werewolf, yellow gleaming eyes, gleaming with jaundice. Sharp teeth, giant claws, he looked like he wanted to eat me right up. He did. But before I could beg for mercy, suddenly something rushed past me and lunged at the werewolf. When I regained my composure, Kerlin and the werewolf were on the ground fighting tooth and nail. And the sheep? Obviously I set it down before. Good. So you came to Fable's aid? No, that ain't it. I noticed the wolf's flannel rags. They were blue, checkered, had an uneven print, just like the kind of stuff Uncle Dragon likes to wear. That old beep. Hey, why can't I say that? Beep. What the beep? Youth protection. The age rating assessment is quite harsh. Anyway, it was dressed like Uncle Dragon, smelled like Uncle Dragon, thought like him too. I was joking when I brought it up before, you know? Haven't seen that old man in years, was coping about it by joking. That's the only way I can bring him up these days. Because of the feud? Yes. He used to be my favourite uncle, but then he changed. Became irritable and angry, distant. Fought a lot with Uncle Fedor. Fedor? Cared more about the moon than he did his own family. Eventually, he just left, ran away, without a word, left us and Uncle Fedor behind to worry senseless. Until we found a letter saying not to look for him and all their savings missing. Well, that's worrying. Swore I was going to kill him if I ever saw him again. Always thought he just couldn't face up to his problems. Turns out his solution was just to send the problems away. Idiot. Did you talk it out with your fists? I tried, but Elfie stopped me. I'm glad they did. How did you figure that out? Well, she was yelling at him. I didn't understand half of it, but I could tell she was angry and hurt. I tried to get their attention by telling them to stop, but they wouldn't listen, so I shot an arrow right next to their heads. My aim was a little shaky, so I did end up grazing Mr. Dragon's ear, but it got them to stop for long enough to get them to listen to me. I threatened that if they didn't stop to talk, I would shoot them both. I would have never done that, of course, but they must have believed me, because they actually stopped to listen. Looked mighty scary there, little fella. Thank you. I sat them down and did my best to be an insuperable obstacle between them. If they wanted to fight, they would have to go through me. That sounds rather dangerous. Wouldn't have stopped for them. You're the size of a stick. You think you can stop 2 angry wolves? Oh, well, I used the opportunity to figure out what was going on, and that's how I found out about Mr. Dragon and Kerlin and the disagreement. Turns out that after Mr. Dragon had turned, he was too ashamed to admit it, but he couldn't stop the changes and ended up hurting all these people that he cared about. That's no excuse, of course. No, it ain't. If we had known, we'd have helped him best we could. At the very least, would have built a sturdy shed with scratch-proof walls for full moons. He didn't expect that though, so he decided to fix the problem by leaving, deal with it alone. All of that. But that only made it worse. Of course, he was too embarrassed to come back, so he just focused on the whole werewolf thing and not any of the human things. Trying to find a cure, trying to avoid the moon, trying to find a place to sleep, stealing sheep, that's something they have in common. The sheep? No, the stubbornness and the unwillingness to ask for help. But they had to talk about it. The silent resentment wasn't good for either of them. And you got them to do that? The little stick is strangely persuasive. Had us talking about it before I even realised I didn't want to. Maybe because you did want to. Maybe. How did it go? Fine. We'll take some time to accept his apology. We'll have to see him change first and apologise to Uncle Fedor and the rest. But it was good to see him again. Guess a hug did feel better than a great sword in his gut. Wonderful. Of course, there is still a problem with the whole werewolf thing. Idiot got obsessed with the cure. He can still barely control himself. We helped him realise that even a cure couldn't change what he's done. That he has to accept he's different now. Learn how to live again. Of course it isn't easy, no change ever is. I learned that from you. But we have a group of werewolves living near our settlement, a small community that enjoys the company of our warm trees. We play charades with them a lot, and they taught me about the phases of the 7 moons and the secrets of the moon sigils. That sounds like a bunch of beep. We introduced Mr. Dragon to them, and they promised they would take him in and help him deal with his lycanthropy. That sounds great. It is. It's a happy ending. I wouldn't call it an end, rather the beginning of something new. So the end of an adventure is just the beginning of a new one. Exactly. They also started crafting something with the werewolves. Said something about it being for you, Innkeep. Present? Oh really? Give me. But it's not finished yet, but I'll let you know, I promise. Wow, this is perfect. You look tired. Have you considered sleep? They do look like they are going to pass out any second. So do you. Maybe sleep is a good idea. I have a free room. You can stay there. Sounds good. How much? I'll count it as payment for your help with the quest. I mean, it was their quest, wasn't it? See you later. Are you heading home, Fable? Yes, I've been gone for a whole day. I need to get back to check whether everything is still growing correctly. Maybe take a nap first. Yes, that too. Did you enjoy your first quest? I did. It was scary and different than I expected. And I didn't know I was so good at pretending to be charming. Oh. You did well, Fable. Thank you. I hope this isn't going to be my last adventure. I think this is just the beginning. That would be nice. Do you think I'm going to save the world one day? That is a very tall order. You're right, I'm not cut out for that. I didn't say that. I would just prefer it if the world did not end. But if it does, you're the first person I will ask for help. See you soon. I love this game. Oh, good evening to you too. Oh, he's taken the quest. This quest. It wasn't here yesterday. It seems dangerous and mysterious. Like me. Okay. You could be a little less mysterious by telling me your name. Zephyr. I want that quest. Well, you have it. You may have one of my infamous drinks. And some of my infamous infusions. In fact, I just got a fresh shipment today and could finally unpack them. For your purposes, I think you could either benefit from some fey crystals or frozen pinecone. The frozen pinecones have absorbed some of nature's icy properties. They can help you form a magical frost barrier that will hurt those trying to harm you. The fey crystals hail straight from Avalon, allegedly. If used, they will turn you invisible, eventually, and for a bit. The expiration date is a bit unpredictable. Careful how they interact with other ingredients. They might alter the drink in a way where I have to use different ingredients than usual. I should have made sure to keep an eye on the coaster shape so that I can mix the correct recipe. Maybe I should even try adding an infusion first and adjust the drink from there. Okay. Let's give it a try. Where's the fit? Oh, it's this one. Okay, and then I want dexterity. Is that dexterity? Any dexterity loving adventure, so it is this one. Oh no, I don't need that one because that's already done. And then I just need... Yeah? It tastes like the sun, a cold sun, and I shall strike her down as such. Expect to see me again after the next sunfall. Farewell. Oh. Kellen's taken a quest. I'm taking this quest and a drink. Great. Did you sleep well? Fine. Too long. Didn't sleep that much in ages. Sounds like you needed it. Your beds are just too comfortable. It was hard to get up. Make me something strong that will wake me up and keep me up too. I think maybe just a Southern Brawler again, right? Hopefully it's right. That is strong. Just the right amount of too much. Maybe I should call this drink the Kerlin. Anyway, the quest. I'm taking it. So you said. I see it is my turn to make conversation. I miss Fable. Isn't it a bit too soon for another quest? You just returned. It has been hours since I've done anything but sleep, chat and drink. I'm getting antsy. If I sit still for too long, it feels like my bones are disintegrating and I forget who I am. I think that's called boredom. It's torture. That too. Well, boring is not what I would call this quest in the slightest. Stealing from a chimera for a vampire sunscreen couldn't get more reckless than that. Could be taking Elfie along. Fair point. Please don't. When I was little, my baba used to tell me bedtime stories about the dragons every night. She was a great adventurer and encountered many of their creations on her journeys. Not sure if it's true, but she always claimed she passed each of the realm keepers themselves. Had little keepsakes from them and all. My sword's one of those. Passed it on to me before she... passed? Left. One day she was just gone. Think she wanted to spend her last moments somewhere else. Like to think she visited one of her dragons one last time. Your family has a leaving problem. At least she left our savings alone. That sword and her stories are all I have left of her. Going on this quest, it almost feels like I'm stepping into a memory of hers. Did she ever tell you about the wyvern chimera? No. Was the only kind she never encountered. Had quarrels with those feline ones, different varieties of scales, even a cow one, I think. But never found a wyvern in all her years. It would have been nice to tell her the story when I return. If I return. I'm sure you will. You can tell the story to me. I don't know if I'll make for a good baba, but I do enjoy a good tale. I'll think about it. You already got me talking too much. This is you talking too much? So you enjoy dragons? They are fascinating creatures, very interesting, very magical. They are fascinating and magical. Used to pretend I was one when I was little, really wanted their magic and their wings. You can just ask them for their magic, not sure about their wings. I reckon a little bit of a boost for this body can't hurt. Just a little bit of Phoenix chili could make you fire resistant. That could be useful in a fight. Sure, I'll try one. Either you mix defense with your weird chilies or go heavy on the intelligence. Which one you pick, I don't care. Okay, so we put the chilies in and then we find the intelligence one. Okay, so we need... Oh. Oh. How about chili? Then fill it up with this. That still doesn't count. It's not coming up with it. The intelligence is the most important bit, right? Hopefully that's right. Good luck. Won't be needing it. I'll be waiting for your story. Hopefully they survive. I feel like that was the right thing. I just couldn't use the chilies. Hi, Fable. Good evening, Fable. Did you have a good day? I did. Did you have tea with the werewolves? Of course. We had a grand time together. I mentioned how much fun I had with the moon signs. So they taught me more about the stars and their hidden meanings. Well, what is it, Fable? I may or may not have finished that little gift I was talking about yesterday. I recall. Give me. You know, the little keepsake from my time with the werewolves. A reminder of my very first successful quest. I just didn't know if you... I like trinkets. Give me. What is it? It's an embroidery of a constellation. The werewolves taught me how to do it. While the astrologer told us stories and myths about the stars and their twin reflections, I imagine it to be a constellation from a faraway realm. I call it the Little Dipper. It does look like a Little Dipper, with a lot of imagination. Who knows, maybe there is a world out there with this exact configuration of stars in the night sky. Here he is. Greetings, Innkeep. Greetings, Kyle. Greetings, green creature. How polite. Are you enjoying your drink? I am, thank you. Then I shall leave you to it, its inspiring aftertaste. Innkeep, say, did you move your inn by any chance? It took me hours to find it. I believe new alleyways may have formed themselves around your establishment, with winding paths and dark corners. Anything could be hiding within them, like a vampire? No, silly snack, I don't need to hide. Except for games of hide and seek. I'm very good at those. Maybe the inn wanted to play around with you. Mayhaps, but it underestimated my skill. As a celebration of a match well won, may I offer you a drink? Yes, I think that would be well deserved. Has that delicious blood of yours made it onto the menu yet? Not yet. Shame. The only thing that could make me happier would be a drink lovingly titled The Innkeeper's Vein. Keep dreaming. Speaking of dreams, how's the retrieval of my cape coming along? Swimmingly? Well, actually, I think there's very little water involved. I wouldn't be so sure. My dear Evelyn has a beautiful pond filled with long-toothed spine guppies in her courtyard. Speaking of inseparable teams, where is Rhea? Oh, she's taken a day off. She demanded vacation time, so I said she could choose any day, and she chose today. I was going to also take a day off and spend her vacation with her. But when I wanted to follow her to the market, my sleep caught on fire and my hand and my hair. So I was forced to stay back due to my allergies. The weeping amaryllis poison are very bad at this time of year. And the sun. The sun is also bad for vampires. Did you get to see the market later? I did. It was beautiful, colourful, full of music that makes your heart dance. But I couldn't find Rhea anywhere, so I felt a little lonely. Luckily, I managed to find a new friend in no time, very tall and brooding, just how I like them. I inquired if I could try on his dark armour of swirling shadow and onyx bone. But he said if I tried to take it from him, he would turn me to ash. What a jokester. Dark armour of swirling shadow and onyx bone? Yes, a true connoisseur of fashion. He was just visiting, he said. I hope you enjoyed your evening together. We did, though I feel he asked something of me I promised I would remember. Perhaps he wanted my cape. Many people want my cape. Perhaps. But I would have never agreed to that. It's my cape after all. He asked me about you. Yes, said he is an old friend of yours. He was very curious about how your inn is doing. I sang your praises, of course, so he asked me to deliver you greetings and congratulations on the well-run establishment. How did he phrase it? Deliver my congratulations of the faux peace your precious innkeeper has found in her house of denial. If only I can remember his name. Does the description ring any bells to you? Nope. Too bad. Must be an old childhood friend. Maybe we went to school together. I had many friendships forged in such halls. Maybe. Do you want to tell me more about your time at the market? Sure, I found the loveliest trinkets. Like a little stuffed bear with a tiny raincoat or a crescent elder moon necklace. I found a gorgeous sun charm as well. I bought it for Rhea as a welcome back from vacation gift. In all my millennia, kindness has always made me the happiest. There's nothing greater than friendship, don't you think? And nothing more fragile. That makes it all the more precious. That reminds me, I forgot a crucial part of the message. Our dear friend stranger told me that he would like to see you again. He said, what was it? Don't think too hard about it. Ah, of course, the letter. The polite young man gave me a letter to deliver to you. What a sweet gesture. I do remember the fireworks. What fireworks? I have no clue. He said he hopes you will enjoy them. Fireworks, doesn't that sound lovely? I hope they are not a private event. I think it would be difficult with fireworks. I don't mean to interrupt, but... What is it, little fawn? Look outside, I think the fireworks have started. How beautiful they are falling from the sky. Hello, little fireworks, sparkle on. Everything's on fire. Oh no, those aren't fireworks. They're stars. Dear player, you've reached the end of Tavern Talk Extended Demo. Oh, cute! It's been a pleasure to take you on this little journey through Wayfarer's Inn. I hope you enjoyed this little insight into our adventures to come. I loved that so much. Wishlist.